Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. It's been a while since I posted, but I have a pretty interesting video today. Today we are going to be going over 5 tips on how to improve your Minecraft builds and take them to the next level. So let's start with what most people have. Most people, they have a simple build. They have like their multiple woods, they have the wood outline, they have the overhanging roof, they have a double door. It just looks like a normal starter house, you know? So if we come over here, we can see our first tip, which is to add depth and points of interest. In this case, we pulled out the window, and it is also the point of interest, because if you're walking by, you're like, wow, that window is very bright. You might see that little window up there. Um, yeah, and then we pushed this back even further. Added some stairs here. Did a few more other things. We put a plant here. Did I put a plant here? Yeah, we put a plant here. Just adding a little more stuff that's interesting. Alright, our next one is to make your structure taller. So when on our house over here, it's only 3 blocks tall. Like on the inside, it's 3 blocks right here. It's very small, there's not much room to do whatever you want, but just adding one more block. I added a single block, I added it to 4 blocks, and then I built a different style roof. I built like a bell-shaped roof. Doing those two things turned this house into something even better. I added another window here just to break up that flat surface, which is another thing that you should do on your builds. Adding things like this to just break up flat surfaces over, like, let's say you have this back area, add a small tower that comes up maybe to here, or maybe right about here, and it will just break up that backside and make it seem far more interesting. You could add like a small smithing area where you have like a furnace, a small lava pit, things like that, just to slightly break up the edges, adds more more things to look at without making it too detailed. I might add some pictures of far too detailed builds in right about now, and right now I will add a picture of different roof styles that you can add, or that you can have, and later on in the video we will be discussing what type of roof style would fit best in different biomes. And our third tip, even though it says 4, is to add decoration and add stuff to the front of your build. You could add a small pond, such as what I have here. You can take like the slabs and just throw them down like that, or like that, and then like just add stuff to the outside to make it seem like it. Anyways, you can add like bushes, you can add flowers. I was testing these. I don't think these fit very well, but the red ones fit pretty well with the rest of the build. Adding some bamboo. I think some of these are too tall, but like I just copied the house over, except for one thing which I'll get into in a minute. But just adding stuff to the front and possibly sides of your base will make it look far more interesting when somebody is walking by. Or if you want to post it on like Instagram or anything like that, having stuff in front of your build will 100% set your build apart from the rest of everyone else. It will not only enhance the build itself, but it just adds more detail, which I guess enhances the build. Anyways, yeah, so like you could possibly take these, you could add it to the like this or something like that, and just have the vines or whatever, moss, I guess, come down. If you want to make your builds look good, add textures. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. I just added some sand here, just doing stuff like this, where you just add small details. I think I just like it like that. Like just adding little bits of detail like this can turn your build, can change how your build looks and make it look more interesting. It can, it just adds texture, so from farther away it's not like I'm looking at one flat wall. It has, it just makes it more interesting. Over here, I added some, sandstone to test it out. Not sure if I like it that much, but I definitely like this. It's just subtle and it works. It just works. Now I want to show you some things that I did on this build over here. In the front of this build, I added a wheat farm. I added a small wagon with hay on it. It does so much for the build. And I guess this can bring me on to my first extra tip. Creating some sort of story with your build. Like even just this little wagon can tell people that, oh, the person that owns this wagon wants to sell the wheat. So they harvest the wheat, they bring it to the wagon, and they go off and they sell it. They have the cows, they can make, I guess if you wanted to add like a chicken coop somewhere, you could add a chicken coop, and then you could say, oh, so they have all of these things, maybe this place is a bakery. Like, you can do so many things by just adding little details around your base, and it can just make the base more enjoyable, not only to live at, but to look at. And it's time to go on to the how to choose what type of what type of roof you want to use. So if I just do a little thing known as and if we come out here, we see this. This is a build that I'm working on for one of my upcoming videos, and I have the texture. I have some slight overhangs right now. This is not finished yet, but it should look cool. I have a chimney, like I have all of these things, but what I want to focus on is the roof. If you look at the roof, you see that it's pretty steep. I have some snow on it, but it's steep. And the reason the roof is steep is because in the wintertime, snow falls. It's crazy. But when it falls, it will fall onto the sides of the roof. If you're playing on like a desert area, you would want a flat roof or a slightly slanted roof. Because you're in a desert biome, you wouldn't get much rain, and when you do, it'll just be rain instead of snow. But with this being a snowy biome, what we have here is a steep roof. So when the snow falls, it will just fall right off into small piles, such as this one. I will probably be adding more to the sides, but you get the point. Changing the roof style in what biome you're building in can make the build much more what's the word? Much more, I guess intuitive would work. Immersive works better. It makes your build much more immersive by just simply changing up the style of roof depending on the biome. You can make your build fit in so much better. And I guess we should go on to our next tip. Alright, our next one is right down here. You look at this build, you will see it is not on a flat world. This is something that is very important in building. If you have everything on the same height, your build will look boring. If you look at this, I have this roof at a different height, this roof at a different height, that little castle structure at a different height, and then this tower above all heights. If you come down here, you can see I have an area that goes far below everything else. And if you come to the outside, you'll see this is it follows the terrain. You can change the terrain, like placing some blocks here maybe to make the build look more interesting. But like if you do something like this, it just adds more to the build than what you can get on a super flat world. Of course, you can build your own terrain on a super flat world, but if you want to like not worry about that, then like looking for areas like this to build instead of like a plains biome where everything is extremely flat, it will add far more to what your build can become because of that. And I guess with that will be the last tip of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. It'll be a Christmas video, by the way. See you all next time, and good. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this was my second take of this video. The first take, it didn't record my voice, so look at us now. Alright, bye!